please tell us a little bit about yourself and your book, Dallas Iconography.
Well, I got my start in photography when I was quite young in high school. And so in the grand scheme of things, I actually came to digital quite late in my career as a photographer. And I think still, even now, that many digital cameras can't match the nuances presented in film. Digital cameras sometimes have a hard time figuring out what to do with an image that has both bright and dark light in it. So in that sense, even though I've done it a very long time, since about 1967, I still consider myself just above average photographer. I'm still on a learning curve. I always learn things. And I'm realistic about my own abilities, even though I enjoy it immensely.
What is it that you love most about living in Dallas?
Well, I came to Dallas 30 years ago for love. I mean, my wife has deep roots in the Dallas area, going back before Texas was a state. I grew up on the beach north of San Diego, but I've gained so much, and gradually came to the realization that a place is all about the people in it. And there are many, many wonderful people in Dallas, and I'm happy to be a part of it now.
Mm-hmm. Who or what inspired you to compile all the photographs and put them together in a book?
I'd have to say that the main protagonist in that is my wife. So it was her friendship and serving on the advisory board of the Dallas Convention and Visitors Bureau that they were brainstorming some ideas on how to promote the city after some downturn times. And one idea was to compile images, put them in a book, and be able to have this Dallas CVB give them out as premiums and gifts to potential clients. So they were interested in the project, and then began the long process of putting the book together.
And how are you able to capture the perfect shot for each image?
Well, this is the difference between film and digital. With film, you're aware of the cost of each shot, and even though there's art involved, and perhaps we shouldn't think so much about money when we're producing art, there is the cost of the film itself and the developing, and so that's always kind of in the back of your mind, and you're relying a lot on skill and memory and what are the appropriate settings for the situation that you're in. With digital cameras, you can take 100 images from one location, and if you get one good shot out of that, then there's very little cost involved. So there's a big difference between film and digital. I think about the images that I'm taking, and I'm quite slow and methodical about the approach. But then, once I get to the setting and I time it so that the light is nice, usually afternoon or evening light is the best for photography. I just take a lot of images during that time, and then when I get home on my computer screen, I check it out and make sure that I get at least one or so, and if not, I go back.
Okay. And what was your favorite landmark or scene to photograph?
Well, part of the genesis of the idea of naming the book, the title of the book, Dallas Iconography, is that there are many historical icons in the city. Some good and some tragic. And the image from Dealey Plaza, looking up to the old school book depository warehouse, and looking through a circular limb on a nearby live oak tree. The limb framed the image from which Lee Harvey Oswald shot President Kennedy. So I think people have kind of a visceral connection with that place and with that image. they remember where they were when they heard the news that Kennedy had been shot. I guess if you're of a certain age. So I think that probably has the most emotional meaning for me in that in the book. But there's some other fun places that were captured as well.
All right. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, no, I just have to say that um, the people at Pelican have just been wonderful for me personally.
Thank you.
They're more than willing to make the connection with you on a personal level. It's not just a business agreement. And Nina, John Shade, Suzanne, you guys have just been terrific to work with. Thank you so much.
Thank you.